Okay, so today what we're going to do is talk a little bit about the pigs and how things have been going with the pigs. So as you can see, this is a big muddy mess. We've had some really strong rains in the last day. I got to get in here and put down some hay in this area, some straw to kind of fill that in. All over here, while it looks wet, is pretty dry, and then everything down there is pretty dry. They just really have tore up this immediate area. Well, that brings me to our topic of today's activities. The first thing that we're going to do is take a look at their food. As you can see, we've been feeding them in a bowl, and that's been working okay, but they really make a mess of it. They knock the food over, they kick it around. You can see there's food all over the ground here. They just make a big giant mess of their food. So what we'd like to do is get them a feeder in place that kind of protects their food and doesn't let them make such a mess. Now, we have been feeding them milk from a friend of ours that has a milk cow. So while we will be doing that, we'll keep the bowl still because we'll put a little bit of food with that milk when we give it to them daily. But their normal feed, we'd like to get it out of the bowl. Second thing is their water. Their water, as you can see, gets quite dirty and gross. We are filling these pretty much daily. They drink a lot of water, a lot of water. And we just have to continually clean this, and it really does make it for a challenging activity to keep it clean. So those are the two things that we're going to focus on today. Here are the pigs taking a nap in their bed. We'll probably give them a little bit more straw. They really like to sleep in there. They enjoy their nice dry spot. But today's activities, in between the rain, because it has really been raining, we have a couple hours of break between storms here where we're supposed to have a little bit of dryness, so I figured I'd try to get this done during then. We're going to work on their watering system, and then we're going to work on getting their feeder. The feeder is a real straightforward activity. I bought a feeder. We just have to bring it out and kind of set it down. The problem with the pigs is that they really like to make a mess, as you can see, and they'll get their nose under things and turn over everything. So everything that we put in here, we have to kind of strap down. So we'll be using T-posts to do some of that. While I'm in here, I'll probably also get some of this water out of here. We put this up just the other day when it was really hot. They don't really need this protection. You know, they have their little pen for sure, but this gives them some sun protection when it's super sunny out. Hey bud, how you doing? See, he's getting big. Definitely likes to come around. He does not like pets at all. Doesn't like pets at all. But they do enjoy eating, and they've been doing a real good job. Now this whole area was, you know, covered in plants like over here, but we've let the pigs have their way with it, and they are doing a really good job of rooting up. This area right here was not rooted up yesterday, and you can see that they've come in here and really rooted this up. They'll do this over the course of a day or two. The only thing that I have to do is just come in here and clear off the fence. I have rubber boots on, which helps me to not get electrocuted, but that fence is electric and will zap them, anybody that touches it. So yeah, so let's get started. We're gonna go talk about the water solution, because they are quite messy. They do make a mess. So we'll go get them some water. You know, delivery system that's not, hey, that's my foot, don't bite me, what's wrong with you? Dude just took a chunk of my foot. These pigs are very food aggressive. So yeah, we're gonna get them a waterer that doesn't get all muddy all the time. Okay, and here's the solution to our pig watering problems. We're going to take one of these buckets. These are from a local distillery. They were selling them very cheap, so we picked one or two up. Picked up two in case I make a mistake on the first one. We only need one. But what we're going to do is we're going to cut the top off these guys, and then we're going to mount a water nipple down at the, somewhere around the 6 or 8 inches off the ground. Once we do that with the top cut off, we can fill it with water, put the top back on, Maybe attach it with some tape or some Velcro or something. I'm not exactly sure yet. We'll figure that out. And then once it's filled up, we'll put a couple of T-posts, one on each side, ratchet strap it to the T-posts. That way the pigs can't knock it over. And we can just fill that up with water and make it so that they can have plenty of water to drink all the time. I believe these are 55-gallon drums, something like that. So, you know, a good amount of water can go in there and we don't have to worry about, you know, the pigs running out of water. And with the nipple on there, we also don't have to worry about them making it super dirty. So I'm gonna go get the tools that are required to get started with this. The first thing I'm gonna need is a circular saw to cut the top off, and then probably my drill, and I'll need to get the nipple that goes in there. I've purchased some some stuff to attach the nipple. I'll show you that when I'm building it here. All right, so got the top cut off. I just went ahead and used the circular saw, laid the bucket on its side, and just ran it around. I left a little piece connected just to see if I could make that kind of like a hinge to hold the top. Next step is we're gonna have to clean this out. It smells very, very strongly of alcohol, which makes sense because it came from a vodka and gin distillery. So first thing to do here though is we're gonna start sanding down these edges a little bit to, you know, clean up some of these little burrs that are sticking out. So I'm gonna have to do that real quick and then we'll check back in. All right, got the old piece of sandpaper, ran that around the edge. We're not looking for anything perfect, right? We just want it to be less covered in the plastic burrs. It's pretty good. It's not gonna cut me. Now the next step is we're gonna take this over to the hose, give it a good spray out because it really does smell pretty strongly. We're gonna get it cleaned out and then we're gonna drill a hole. You know, now that I think about it, maybe I should just drill the hole first because I don't have to clean it again anyway. So okay, so I think what we're gonna do, now that I'm talking about it, you know, a lot of these things we do on the fly. I'm gonna just put the top back up here, lay it down on its side, like so. And now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna drill a hole somewhere about right here, about at the 10-gallon line. Basically what that's gonna do is gonna give us a place to mount our nipple. So I'm gonna go get the nipple, I'll get the drill, get it all, show you what it looks like, then we'll get to work. Here we have what we need. This is the nipple. This is gonna go into the tank. I don't know if you can really make that out so well, but basically the way it works is the pig can push down on this little button in here with its tongue or bite on it, and it will let water out. It has a little teeny filter on the backside. The way this is gonna work, that's gonna go through the bucket, and on the backside there's gonna be 2 rubber gaskets that I got here, and then it'll get screwed on nice and tight with this PVC fitting. The PVC fitting will just go onto the back of it like that and make it nice and tight. We're gonna drill a hole in the bucket. This is a little bigger than 3/4 inch, so I got a 3/4 inch bit, and I can expand the hole a little bit as I need with my pocket knife. We're just gonna use a handy hand drill to do that. Get the hole drilled. All right, looks like we got it on there. So I got it mounted in the front of the bucket. The little lip is right there, so they should be able to make it go. And we mounted it on the inside, the rubber gasket. Did need to get out 2 wrenches to do that, but pretty straightforward really. Drill the hole, stick it through, mount it in. The thing I am of course concerned a little bit about is that it might leak. If it does leak, I can always put a little caulking on the back inside. You know, I can unscrew that, put some caulking in, seal that, and then retighten it, but we'll see how that works. I'm gonna put some water in it, rinse it out, see what it looks like. Okay, got the hose running. Gonna get in here, spray this thing out, get all these plastic pieces out. Really that's the goal, is just kind of rinse it out a little bit. It did smell pretty bad of alcohol. I don't think that'll be too much of a problem, but once again, if we can just clean it out, then we don't have to worry about any of that residue from the alcohol that was in there. Not that the pigs will complain, I'm sure. They would eat pretty much anything you give them. But just because they will, doesn't mean they should. So we'll clean this out as best as possible. Get it all rinsed out. And then once it's rinsed out, we'll get, 10 or 15 gallons of water put in there. Make sure it doesn't leak. And as long as it doesn't leak, we can put it back, or we can empty it out and then bring it over to the pigs area. So this will save us significantly on day-to-day chores. Our current chore list is to change their water out every day, twice a day some days, especially when it's hot and sunny. Having a good solid supply of water that's available to them at all times, that we only have to fill up once every few days, will just be much nicer. Lugging 5-gallon buckets or even bringing the hose down there and filling up their water bowls has been kind of a pain. So it'd be nice to not have to do that. Okay, so one thing I do have to do here is before the water gets up there, just kind of wipe it around here, make sure it's dry. So you can see that there's no water coming out. So that once the water does get up to that line, we'll know if it's leaking. You know, we want to be able to see if there's water leaking out. Now, if it has like a little half a drip or something, it's not the end of the world. This would be a 50-gallon bucket, and you know, a drip here and there is not going to be stopping anything. We just don't want water flowing out of it. We want this thing to hold as much water as possible. In the long run, what we would really like to do is get some gutters put on the back of this shed, and then we'll have an IBC tote. We have an extra one that could be sitting back there. Fill that up with rainwater, and then we could easily gravity feed the rainwater down to the pig area. We're not at that point yet, but for right now, this is the first step. I don't know if we're going to have pigs again. Most likely we will. I've kind of enjoyed having the pigs so far. They've done a really good job at cleaning up the mess in the land. So we have a lot more land that needs to be cleared. I can definitely see us getting pigs again in future years to clear up even more of these sections of land back here. If we do get more pigs, then, you know, having all of these supplies in place will be very helpful. All right, so the water's up there, and I don't see any leaks yet, so that's great. Looks to me like this might work. Let's see if this thing, well, I guess it's not all the way up there yet. Oh, there we go. Now some water's coming out. There's some water. So this is how they get their water. They basically just bite down on that, and the water flows out to them. Yeah, so I got a few gallons above the line there. No leaks whatsoever, so that's good. First try, not bad. And if you hold it down, you can see that water does run out, so the pigs will be able to get their drinks. So all right, we're going to turn this off, dump this water, bring it down to the pigs. All right, so bucket's in place. You can see I got it mounted. Put in 2 T-posts, one there, one there. Got them set in nice and tight. Put the barrel between it, and then have a ratchet strap hooked around it. Got that nice and tight, so this ain't going anywhere. Pigs shouldn't be able to move this. Once I get it full of water, it'll be even harder for them to move. And then I just tied up the ends of the ratchet strap at the top up here. This is an old ratchet strap that I used to use a couple years ago when we had the smaller tractor to move things around on the trailer. So this got left outside a lot. This ratchet strap's pretty shot, so I don't really mind it being out here and getting messy. Of course, in the pig area, you don't want to have anything that you would not like to get messed up, because these guys are very destructive. You know, that's kind of their thing. It's what we bring them in here to do, is to make a mess. One other thing I got to do today is go over here and put down some straw. They really have made quite the mess over here in the last couple days during the rain. So get some straw down to suck up some of this water, give them a little more dry area, at least right around there, their little hut there. Down on that side is all dry still, so they're okay. It's not like they're going to be standing in water all day, but still I like for them to be as comfortable as possible. Okay, well, water now just needs to have water put in, and then I'll probably put some peanut butter or something on the tip of that nipple so that they can go over there and start biting on it, and then realize that water comes out. They're pretty fast learners, so I'm sure they'll get the fact that there's water in there pretty quickly. I also believe when they were little, as piglets, they had a nippler, a water system like that. Now, of course, they probably don't remember that. It was a couple months ago, but maybe it'll ring some bells for them. Either way, we're going to turn that water on, and then we're going to start talking about the food delivery mechanism. All right, so I'm going to admit, for the feeder, I cheated. We recently bought a new lawnmower, and we bought that at Tractor Supply. So when we bought our lawnmower at Tractor Supply, I don't know if you ever shopped there, but they have a rewards program, and with that rewards program, you get like $10 off coupons, depending on how much money you spent. Well, we bought a fairly expensive lawnmower, so we got a bunch of $10 off coupons, and otherwise, I would never have bought this, because this is
way more money than I would spend normally on you know, an animal supply. You know, things like $200 and something. But we had like $60 in coupons, so I figured what the heck, and we used the $60 in coupons to buy this. This is basically a metal trough feeder, so the feed goes up in the top here. You close it up, and then the pigs learn pretty quickly, from my understanding, to lift this up to get the food. What we'll probably do is we'll probably tape one of these up for the first day or two. Leave it taped up so that the pigs, or maybe even just bungee it up, but either way, keep it up so that the pigs know the food's in there, and then we'll let the top down, and then that way they'll know just to come over here, stick their head in, dig for the food, and then walk away. This allows me to put, like, I'm gonna guess 100 pounds of grain or feed in here, so that looks to me about 2 bags worth, maybe 3 even, but we'll see. About 100 pounds of feed, so I won't have to bring down feed, you know, manually every day. And it'll also keep it so that the feed stays in here instead of ending up all over the ground, which is what's happening now. We're probably losing a good 5 to 10% of our feed on the ground. And now I'm not raising these pigs for profit. I'm not selling them, right? We're not selling the meat. But either way, I still would like to be as economical as possible. We've got a friend that's giving us milk in exchange for some meat at the end of the year. So that's great. We've got other friends that are giving us compost, and we trade them, you know, they're compostable food, right? So like vegetable scraps and stuff, things that they would normally put in their compost bin. The pigs will eat that, so we were trading them eggs for that. So once again, trying to just keep this as low cost as possible. This feeder is well outside of that activity, but we figure if we have pigs 2 or 3 times, you know, the cost for this could go down to $40 or $50 per batch of pigs, which is not too bad. We'll figure it all out at the end of the season when we harvest the pigs. We'll do a full video with a breakdown on the cost. I'm keeping track of every single purchase we make for these guys, all the way down to the bedding, ensuring that we understand exactly what it's costing us to raise these pigs. And then we'll do that math out and figure out how much per pound it's costing us to raise these guys. I'm going to guess it's probably significantly more than the grocery store when we're done, but that's okay. We're not raising these guys to make a bunch of money. We know that these pigs are being treated well. They're being given good food. They're being allowed to be pigs. As you can see back there, they're tearing up the ground and just, you know, being pigs. They're getting to live a good life. So that's important to us. So what I'm going to do with this guy is I'm going to bring this down here to the pig area. I've got this ratchet strap here. We're going to ratchet strap it to one more T-post. I'll put a T-post right behind it. Ratchet strap it to that so that the pigs can't easily knock this thing over. And then we'll get it filled up with feed. All right, got these things loaded. The pigs are already kind of checking this thing out. This guy was over there just a minute ago sniffing around. But water's all locked in, closed. Food's here. It's mounted to the T-post, not going anywhere. There you go, bud. You want to try some? No, I don't think he wants to. Food's loaded in. I got 100 pounds of feed in here right now. And they both seem to have come around to take a look. There you go. You can see he's got his head in there. Get him used to the noise. You see that's feeding. Oh, there you go. Go ahead, bud. You got it. Almost. Sure, they'll figure that out pretty quickly. Their natural inclination is to dig and to root and to lift with their nose. So I can't imagine that they won't get this figured out soon. Let's open this one up, see if I can't get them to go in there. But you can see they're very, very curious right off the bat. They want to know what's going on here and what's happening in this. I open this up. Give them a little snack there. Well, maybe not. Maybe they just want to smell at it. Hey, let's not chew on the ratchet strap. See, they are very inquisitive. They want to put their mouth and their nose into everything, figure out what's going on. All right, we're gonna call this a success. Like I said earlier, I think I need to put a little peanut butter or something on this water. Bud, that's not for you to scratch on. Everything's a scratching post to them. Water is all filled up. Their food container is here. I think we're all set. They're gonna figure that food container out in no time. I have no doubt about it. And hopefully we can get them to drink out of this water, because I'm really tired of bringing water down. But if you enjoyed this video, like watching and learning about our pigs, stuff that we're doing to take care of them, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, click like to this video, share it with your friends, and you know, click the little bell if you do subscribe, and you'll get notified every time we make a new video. All right, thank you for watching and have a good one.